Hey family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Homestead. So I just wanted to do a light video, show you my one of my goals for this next year, but also share some of my Christmas presents. We didn't do a lot of Christmas presents this year, but hubby, when he did his couple for me, he definitely had a theme, right? So let me back it up to the importance and why this is such an important and exciting thing for me. So probably a couple months ago, I started seeing videos of folks on Instagram talking about taking a challenge where they were going to start making bread in their homes, and they were going to say no more store-bought bread, right? As a way to become self-sufficient, as a way to become learning how to make bread, to make bread products, to learn that skill set and learn it so well that you yourself, no matter if you've never made bread, could make bread, delicious bread products, rolls, muffins, all of that stuff, right? Even tortillas, but all of those bread type products, right? And, and I was like, I want to do that. But part of me is scared, right? I have this whole journey where I have my whole preparedness stuff and I prepare, and I'm working on this homestead. And part of my journey is to start to learn things and then delete those things from store-bought and from depending on somebody else for it. It's the whole idea behind why people get chickens is you get chickens, therefore you get eggs, and then you don't have to buy store-bought and you're not dependent on that. And then if there's panic buying, if anything happens, collapse, whatever, you're okay because you still have a source of protein, you have eggs. And it's no different than people that make their own laundry soap, their own different cleaners for the house. In this case, make bread, right? And so I'm highly excited and a little nervous to do that, but I wanted to do that for the new year. And I've been telling myself and amping myself up for months that I'm going to start that for the new year. That's going to be one of my solid resolution things. And two, I think it's extremely important because not only do you learn the skill set, but you learn exactly how much of ingredients it takes to say, make said thing of bread, right? And does it end up being more money than buying a loaf of bread, right? Some bread is extremely cheaper, right? But prices are going up, but you can still, if you look, you can get some bread for a couple dollars. And then there's other bread that's very, very expensive. And so absolutely it's going to be cost effective. Now, because now it's important that you prepare and you have these items, right? Second thing is, how do you prepare to make bread with a homestead if you're not getting the rest of the ingredients from the store, right? So it's one thing to say, I'm going to make bread and not have store-bought, but not get the things store-bought. I'm going to be buying the flour. I'm going to be buying the stuff for the bread, just so you know, right? But I think it's important to learn the skill set. And I think it's very, very important to know exactly how much of those ingredients it takes. Therefore, when you're stockpiling and you're doing that stuff, you're stockpiling enough of that stuff, enough flour, enough of the hard wheat berries, the things that you can grind down to make your flours. And having those tools, that stuff is so important, especially for homesteading. Two, are you able to grow some sort of wheat, some sort of grain like that you're then able to mill down yourself and make a flour and then make bread? So it's a whole full cycle. It's not just, hey, I'm going to make bread. It's the thought process we have to get into of what are all the things does it take to do things yourself, truly self-sustainability, like truly what does that look like, right? It's cute to go on Instagram and be like, I'm going to make this bread, 365 days worth of bread. I'm not going to go to the store, but you're still getting all the ingredients from the store. So are you really self-sufficient? You've got to think that through. And so I'm excited to bring that to you. I'll be bringing you stuff on this channel. Now, hubby did something that I totally did not expect. This is not something we talked about. This is not something I asked for. But I just thought, wow, this is a sign, right? Like this, I hear you, God. Like I can't even believe it lined up. So for Christmas, he gets me a bread maker. Now, mind you, it's on the grid. It's plug-in type, right? So obviously if we lose power, we can't use it, or we have power generators, but it's plug-in. But it is a bread maker. And he went further and got me all the things. He got me the nice bamboo bread cutter, that slicer where you put the bread in there and you can slice it so that they're the same size. He got me this book, bread machine cookbook, cookbook, just tons of recipes. And so I'm just super, super excited because it's a fast way to make bread. I have, you know, the document, the manual, the cookbook, right? That matters. This is super important for living self-sufficient. Not just this, I'm talking about books in general. Super, super important for being able to continue skills, continue to do things, continue to learn about things. It's by making sure that you have books, right? And so I'm super excited. I already had some stuff in my Amazon cart ready to go, different bags and different ways to keep bread, and just kind of thinking that through because I plan to execute this. Now, obviously this gift is exciting, so I'm going to be doing both. I'm going to be trying to learn the new craft. Now, I've made bread before. I've made bread several times. I've made rolls, biscuits, donuts. I mean, I've baked before, right? So, and I've made bread. I actually think I did one of my really early videos on Mama Bear Prepping channel was a bread video, and so that was there. I can't link, I guess I could link that. I'll see if I can find it and link the video in the description box if you want to go back to that. But I've been making bread for a while, so that part's not new. What's exciting is saying, can you commit and do it and not buy store-bought bread anymore, and see if you can, you know, how long it takes and how difficult it is to shift to that. And maybe it's going to be much easier than I think. I think a lot of it is routine and getting into the rhythm of when you're making your dough, when you're having it rise, when you're doing stuff, how many loaves do you need, how many loaves do you go through, how fast, sandwich loaf to regular loaf for maybe a stew, the difference of all this stuff, right? And how does that work into your cooking schedule and your work schedule, right? So super excited. I'm going to link, let's see, I'm going to link the bread video from my other channel. I'm going to link an Amazon link for this book. And then I had another book that I had bought several months ago when I started thinking about this. It's called Ready, Set, Dough. And it, again, is just a book full of recipes. Now, I like it because this one is specifically for making it in the bread machine, right? This is more hands-on, from scratch type recipes. And so I plan to utilize both books and get into, because, you know, even though I've made bread, I really wanted to fine tune it and find like the go-to bread, because I've made bread several times. It was delicious, it was good, but I've never felt like it was like my go-to. And so I was still trying to find my go-to loaf, right? That you make in your Dutch oven, put in the oven and bake. I still was looking for my perfect loaf. And then I was just getting ready, and I mentioned this in some videos, I was just getting ready to start seeing if I could find my perfect sandwich bread recipe. I've watched several videos, I've read several books, just trying to figure out which ones I think will be good. And I was just getting ready to try a couple. Literally, I was going to do it this week. Obviously, Christmas was kind of a low key for us, but soon, you know, I was planning to make this sandwich bread and see what I like. So it's going to be interesting to still make sandwich bread from scratch, from the recipes that I found that I already documented and wanted to try. And then also I'm going to try their sandwich bread, and we're going to see which one is the best, you know, how easy is it doing it, you know, in a machine versus in a Dutch oven or whatever the pan, you know, that you're using to make your bread pan, right? So it's exciting. I would say to you, the challenge is, you know, it's a new year. Things are, you know, people are making resolutions, making goals. I talked about this on my other channel and today's video that I released before this video. And I just find it exciting to, one, learn a new skill. I'm not really learning a new skill, but I'm fine-tuning a skill, learning 2 different ways to do it to see which one is going to be easier for me. You know, working and trying to do projects and do things on the homestead. This might be, the bread machine might be my golden ticket, like a crock pot where you can just, you know, prep stuff and then bake stuff and cook stuff, you know, as you need it to be ready, right? I don't know. It's exciting. So my challenge to you is take this challenge or find another challenge. Basically find something for homesteading, for self-reliance. And listen, you can do this even if you don't have a homestead, right? This is finding something, that you want to make for yourself. You want to learn how to make it for yourself and try to challenge yourself that you're going to try to continue to do that until you get a product that you absolutely love. And therefore you're turning to you making this product and staying with making the product yourself, opposed to buying it from the store. It could be anything. It could be bar soap. Maybe you want to dabble in, you don't need a homestead for this. You can have an apartment, you can have a home. It doesn't matter where you live. Dabble in, get some molds, get the stuff for soap, watch some videos, and dabble in making you some soap, right? And make it and keep making it to where you fine tune it to how you like it. Is the first bar of soap, first recipe you find, gonna be the perfect fit? Probably not, right? But try it out, see what you like, use it in the shower, use it in the bath, see how you like it. Do you feel clean? Do you like the smell? And play with it. And then eventually you're doing that to fine tune it so that you can go away from buying store-bought. You can go towards self-reliant, that you then now know how to make soap. And furthermore, not only do you know how to make it because you fine tune it, you're an expert in it, you really know what you're talking about when you talk about the things it takes to make soap. And then you know the ingredients, the things needed in your preps, right, on your homestead in order to make that soap, right? What are things that you can do to continue to make soap later on when there's no store, right? What do you need to have in order to do that project? Learning how to do it and shifting away from store-bought and depending on the store and, oh no, we're out of soap, we gotta go to the store. No, you've already shifted into self-reliance in that area, and you just keep doing it. You just keep picking new things. And the thing is social media is so great because, again, 1-minute videos, on TikTok and stuff will show you how to do something. Oh, how to make soap. You'll watch somebody really quickly tell you the ingredients for a soap recipe. You do a little bit more research and then you move on to that. So I think it's exciting to just think about the things that you could get into, the things that interest you, that you want to learn how to do, and make those things, utilize them, see the ingredients that is needed, prepare, prep, stockpile that stuff. Is it stuff that includes stuff that you can grow, that you can make and provide for yourself on your own piece of property, right? And shift away, right? If anything too, on top of this, you could be learning a skill set that could be good for bartering later, that could be good for employment later and income later, when people are, the world is gone, all the way crazy and there's no jobs and there's no employment, and it's down to how are you making income? How are you providing for your family? And it could be something as simple that you taught yourself how to do that you can now sell, okay? You taught yourself how to do this soap. You've been living off your guys' own soap for years and years. You're in a situation where maybe people need soap, they can't get soap, and you can then barter or get paid for your soaps because you have that skill set, It's some people watching this probably like, this is just so silly, but this stuff matters. It matters learning and doing stuff for yourself. And we've gotten away from that because we're leaning so, as a society, we're leaning so close and heavy on technology and AI and other people, automation and other people doing stuff for us, and not even like other people even doing stuff for us, like food, being delivered and items being delivered. Like, you don't have to go to the store for anything. Everything can literally come to your doorstep, and it's not just Amazon now, it's everything, right? So it's hard to shift away from that, but it's super important for the sake of survival and self-reliance that you learn to do that, and that we start shifting back, or we're just not going to make it, right? So I hope you guys have had a beautiful, holidays. I'm not sure what my last video was on, but I'm going to go through those comments for you guys and see what you guys were trying to say to me and answer some of you guys back today. And I guess I'll see you guys at the end of the week on Friday for the next video, okay? Take care.